Hi guys, it's time for another review. This is a review of Sargeist, Let the Devil In. This was an album put out in 2010. This is their newest album. This is a band that's it's a full-time band, but sort of a side project at the same time and it shares members from Horna and Behexen. And the history of this band goes back to, I believe, the mid-90s. I believe it was started by Shaltrag. But on to the album. This is definitely, as far as Sargeist's stuff goes, this is definitely a lot better produced. Not to say anything negative about their earlier production. Those albums had more of a raw production. This sounds much cleaner, much more like Behexen's newest album, My Soul for His Glory. It has that sort of sound, but it's not obnoxiously clean. This album, it's quite furious. It doesn't really let up. It starts off with Empire of Suffering, which is just a very fast mid-90s sort of black metal piece. Vocals are just very high-pitched shrieks, which not quite Horna high-pitched shrieks, but they're up there. Guitars. I'd say the guy behind this, Shaltrag, I believe, his up there with the likes of Infernus as far as black metal guitarists and composers. Very skilled guitarist. The riffs just there's riff after awesome riff on this album, and there's really no filler in this album. The drums are very precise for a black metal album, which, depending on which album and by which band you listen to, they can be less than perfect. The bass is pretty much non-existent, but that's kind of standard, so not really a big deal. And this it plays a very fast style of black metal. There's not quite as much of a punk influence as there was in earlier albums, like on Satanic Black Devotion. This is very traditional black metal, but it's sort of has an updated feeling. While this album can be very fast at times, it knows when to slow down into sort of a very dark groove. An example of this would be the song Twilight Breath of Satan, which has some of my favorite lyrics on the album. Overall, I would suggest highlight tracks would be Empire of Suffering, From the Black Coffin Lair, Burning Voice of Adoration, Twilight Breath of Satan, and As Darkness Tears the World Apart. This is, if you're into 90s black metal, and if you're kind of new to Finnish black metal, this is definitely a must-listen. But yeah, overall, this is quite an excellent album. I would give it a high 8 to maybe a soft 9. Very good album. So, if this is your sort of thing, this is something to pick up. But yeah, that's this review. I'll have more stuff in the future, so stay tuned. See ya.